In our previous journey, we witnessed the birth of an extraordinary idea, the creation of national parks, sanctuaries set aside not for exploitation, but for the perpetual wonder and benefit of all people. We explored the first 30 jewels in this growing crown, from the volcanic marvel of Yellowstone to the ancient forests of the Great Smoky Mountains. These were the foundational pillars, a testament to a burgeoning recognition that some places are simply too precious, too magnificent, to be lost to the relentless march of progress. It was a movement born of foresight and a deep abiding love for the wild heart of a continent. Now, we continue this remarkable story. The second half of the 20th century and the dawn of the 21st would see an explosion in the diversity and scope of these protected lands. The National Park Service, having found its footing, began to look towards more subtle, yet no less vital, ecosystems. From the arid deserts of the southwest to the remote, frozen landscapes of the far north, and even the vibrant coral kingdoms beneath the waves, the definition of a national park was about to be profoundly broadened. This is the story of that expansion, a tale of discovery and preservation that continues to unfold even today. Our exploration now takes us from the 31st National Park to the 63rd, a chronicle of growth and evolving purpose. We will journey to the sun-scorched canyons of Texas with the establishment of Big Bend on June 12, 1944, travel to the lush subtropical wetlands of Florida's Everglades, designated on December 6, 1947, and continue all the way to the newest additions, which protect unique geological formations and vital riverways. Each park represents a new chapter, a deeper understanding of the intricate tapestry of life that makes up this nation. So join me as we embark on this next leg of our grand tour. Here, on the borderlands of Texas, the Rio Grande carves a path of breathtaking beauty. Established on the 12th of June 1944, Big Bend National Park became the 31st member of this prestigious family. It is a place of dramatic contrasts, where the arid Chihuahuan Desert, one of the most biologically diverse deserts in the world, collides with the cool forested heights of the Chisos Mountains. This entire mountain range is uniquely contained within the park's boundaries, a sky island teeming with life found nowhere else in the United States. The river itself is the lifeblood of this region. For over 1,000 miles, it forms the international boundary between Mexico and the United States, and within the park, it has sculpted spectacular canyons like Santa Elena, Mariscal, and Boquillas. These sheer rock walls, rising hundreds of feet from the water, tell a geological story millions of years in the making. This is a land shaped by fire and water, a sanctuary for creatures adapted to extremes, and a testament to the raw, untamed power of the natural world. We travel now from the arid landscapes of the desert to a world defined by water. On the 6th of December, 1947, Everglades National Park in southern Florida was established, the 32nd park and the first to be created primarily to protect a fragile ecosystem rather than for its scenic grandeur alone. It is a vast, slow-moving river of grass, a subtropical wetland of international importance, a place of subtle beauty and immense biological richness. This is a landscape not of mountains and canyons, but of sawgrass prairies, cypress domes, and mangrove forests. The health of this entire ecosystem depends on the delicate seasonal flow of fresh water from Lake Okeechobee to the Florida Bay. It is a haven for an incredible array of wading birds, their elegant forms silhouetted against the dawn sky. And here, in these warm, dark waters, lurks one of the planet's great reptiles, the American alligator. The Everglades is a complex and vulnerable world, a reminder that the web of life is woven from the grandest peaks to the quietest, shallowest of waters. For our 33rd park, we venture beyond the continental shores. On August 2, 1956, a jewel of the Caribbean, Virgin Islands National Park on the island of St. John, was brought into the fold. Here, the primary wonders are not just the lush green hillsides and the pristine white sand beaches, but the vibrant world that lies just beneath the turquoise surface of the water. This was a significant step, extending the mission of the Park Service to the preservation of marine ecosystems. More than half of the park's area is, in fact, underwater. The calm, clear bays protect dazzling coral reefs, intricate cities of life teeming with colorful fish, sea turtles, and countless other marine creatures. On land, the park preserves the ruins of historic sugar plantations, their stone walls now entwined with tropical vegetation, telling a story of human history intertwined with the enduring power of nature. From the panoramic views atop Bordeaux Mountain to the serene beauty of Trunk Bay, it is a paradise protected. High above the Pacific, on the Hawaiian island of Maui, stands a colossal dormant volcano. On the 1st of July 1961, this sacred landscape was designated as Haleakalā National Park, the 34th in the system. Its name, House of the Sun, hints at the spectacle that draws visitors from across the globe. A sunrise viewed from its summit, a truly spiritual experience as the light spills into the vast, Mars-like crater below. This crater is immense, large enough to hold the entire island of Manhattan, but you know the park is a story of two worlds. From the barren, windswept summit, the park descends through 7 distinct ecological zones to a lush, tropical coastline. The Kiripahulu district, a world away from the volcanic desert above, is a verdant rainforest fed by waterfalls and freshwater pools. Here, one finds the Ohio Gulch, often called the 7 Sacred Pools. This dramatic transition from alpine cinder desert to tropical paradise really showcases the incredible diversity that can exist within a single protected area. We return to the desert, to the stark and colorful landscapes of northeastern Arizona. On December 9, 1962, Petrified Forest National Park was designated the 35th park, preserving one of the world's largest and most spectacular concentrations of petrified wood. These are not ordinary stones. They are the fossilized remains of giant trees that lived more than 200 million years ago, during the late Triassic period, when this arid land was a lush, tropical floodplain. Over millennia, the fallen logs were buried by sediment and volcanic ash, and the organic wood was slowly replaced by minerals, primarily quartz, creating a forest of stone. The landscape is also home to the Painted Desert, a vast expanse of Badlands where layers of siltstone, mudstone, and shale have been eroded into a stunning palette of reds, oranges, and purples. It is a place that speaks of deep time, a geological storybook where each colorful layer and fossilized log is a chapter from a long-lost world. In the heart of Utah's high desert, the confluence of 2 mighty rivers, the Green and the Colorado, has carved a landscape of extraordinary scale and complexity. This is Canyonlands National Park, established on September 12, 1964, as the 36th National Park. It is a wilderness of countless canyons, mesas, and buttes, a geological labyrinth so vast and rugged that it has been divided into 4 distinct districts, each with its own unique character, all separated by the impassable rivers. The island in the sky is a massive, sheer-walled mesa, offering godlike views over the surrounding terrain. The Needles district is known for its colorful spires of Cedar Mesa sandstone. The maze is one of the most remote and challenging areas in the entire national park system, a bewildering jumble of canyons that is truly wild. And the rivers themselves, the architects of this grand design, form the 4th district. Canyonlands is a showcase of the raw power of erosion, a masterpiece sculpted by water and time. Just a short distance from Canyonlands in eastern Utah lies a landscape that seems to defy gravity itself. On November 12, 1971, Arches National Park was created, becoming the 37th park and protecting the highest concentration of natural stone arches on Earth. Over 2,000 of these delicate and improbable spans have been cataloged, from the thinnest of slivers to the massive iconic form of landscape arch, which is You know, one of the longest natural arches in the world. These formations are the result of a unique geological story. A deep salt bed, laid down hundreds of millions of years ago, was later buried by layers of sandstone. Under immense pressure, this unstable salt layer buckled and shifted, cracking the overlying rock. For millennia, water, ice, and wind have worked their way into these cracks, eroding the fins of sandstone into the spectacular arches we see today. Each one is a temporary sculpture, a fleeting monument to the patient and persistent forces of nature. We remain in the geological wonderland of Utah to visit our 38th park, Capitol Reef National Park, established on December 18, 1971, protects a truly immense feature, the Water Pocket Fold. This is a nearly 100-mile-long warp in the Earth's crust, a classic monocline, where layers of rock have been uplifted and folded. The park is a long, narrow ribbon of land, a journey through a billion years of geological history laid bare for all to see. The name Capitol Reef comes from the white domes of Navajo sandstone, which early pioneers thought resembled the United States Capitol building, and the rocky reefs that formed a barrier to travel. The park is a tapestry of colorful cliffs, hidden arches, massive domes, and narrow canyons. It also preserves the historic pioneer settlement of Fruita, an oasis of orchards along the Fremont River, a testament to the human spirit's ability to find a foothold even in the most rugged of landscapes. Rising like a stone fortress from the Chihuahuan Desert of West Texas is our 39th park, Guadalupe Mountains National Park, established on September 30, 1972. This park protects the world's most extensive Permian fossil reef, a massive limestone mountain range that was once a reef in a vast, ancient sea some 265 million years ago. The park's highest point, Guadalupe Peak, is the highest point in Texas, offering staggering views across the desert floor. The park is a land of stark beauty and surprising diversity. While the lower elevations are classic desert environments, the higher elevations support lush forests of ponderosa pine and Douglas fir, relics from a cooler, wetter past. McKittrick Canyon, in particular, is a riparian oasis, famous for its stunning display of autumn color, a startling contrast to the surrounding desert. It is a park that invites exploration, rewarding hikers with solitude, immense views, and a direct connection to the planet's deep past. We now travel far north to the border of Minnesota and Canada, to a landscape shaped by glaciers and defined by water. Voyageurs National Park, the 40th park, was established on January 8, 1975. It is a maze of interconnected lakes and waterways, a place where water is the primary means of travel. The park is named for the French-Canadian fur traders, the Voyageurs, who paddled these same routes centuries ago in their massive birch bark canoes. This is a transitional ecosystem, where the southern boreal forest meets the northern hardwood forest. The park is composed of 4 major lakes: Rainy, Kabetogama, Namakan, and Sandpoint, and dozens of smaller ones, all dotted with wild, undeveloped islands. It is a sanctuary for wildlife, including bald eagles, loons, black bears, and the elusive timber wolf. In winter, the liquid landscape freezes solid, becoming a world of snow and ice, offering a completely different yet equally profound wilderness experience. In the rugged Badlands of western North Dakota, we find a landscape that profoundly shaped a future president. Theodore Roosevelt National Park, our 41st park, was established on November 10, 1978. It was here, in this stark and beautiful land, that Roosevelt came to grieve the loss of his wife and mother, and where he developed the passion for conservation that would become a cornerstone of his presidency. The park is a living memorial to his legacy. The Little Missouri River winds through the park, having carved the soft clay and sandstone into a labyrinth of colorful canyons, buttes, and coulees. This is a place where the wild spirit of the American West feels palpable. Herds of bison, the iconic symbol of the plains, roam freely. Wild horses, feral but magnificent, can be seen grazing on the plateaus, and prairie dog towns create bustling communities on the flats. It is a landscape that speaks of resilience, both of the land itself and of the man it inspired. A short journey south into South Dakota brings us to an even more dramatic and otherworldly landscape of erosion. Badlands National Park, the 42nd park, was designated on November 10, 1978. It protects a vast expanse of sharply eroded buttes, pinnacles, and spires, blended with the largest protected mixed-grass prairie in the United States. The Lakota people knew this place as Makosika, or land bad, a fitting name for the difficult terrain. These formations are not just visually stunning, they contain one of the world's richest fossil beds. The layers of sediment hold the remains of ancient mammals like the rhino, horse, and saber-toothed cat, providing an invaluable window into the Eocene and Oligocene epochs. Today, the park is a refuge for bighorn sheep, which navigate the steep cliffs with impossible grace, as well as bison and the highly endangered black-footed ferret. It is a place where the past is constantly being revealed by the forces of the present. On the foggy northern coast of California stands a kingdom of giants. Redwood National and State Parks, a unique cooperative management effort, was significantly expanded and redesignated on October 2, 1968, but its full recognition as our 43rd park in this sequence came with the major expansions of the late 1970s. This park protects the tallest living things on Earth, the coast redwoods, Sequoia sempervirens. To stand in one of these ancient groves is to feel truly humbled. These colossal trees, some soaring over 350 feet into the sky and living for more than 2,000 years, create a cathedral-like atmosphere. Sunlight filters through the high canopy, illuminating the lush undergrowth of ferns and sorrel. The park is more than just trees. It encompasses pristine coastline, wild rivers, and oak woodlands. It is a sanctuary for Roosevelt elk, which graze peacefully in the meadows, and for the endangered marbled murrelet, a seabird that nests high in the old-growth canopy. Off the coast of Southern California lies an archipelago that feels like a world apart. Channel Islands National Park, our 44th park, was established on March 5, 1980. It protects 5 of the 8 Channel Islands and the rich marine environment surrounding them. Often called the Galapagos of North America, these islands are home to over 145 plant and animal species found nowhere else on Earth, a result of their long isolation from the mainland. One of the most remarkable inhabitants is the island fox, a diminutive relative of the mainland gray fox, which has evolved into a distinct subspecies on each island. The waters surrounding the islands are a marine sanctuary, a haven for vast kelp forests, sea lions, seals, and numerous species of whales and dolphins, including the magnificent blue whale. The islands themselves are rugged and beautiful, with sea caves, quiet coves, and windswept grasslands, offering a glimpse of what coastal California was like centuries ago. Just south of the bustling metropolis of Miami, Florida, lies a park that is almost entirely underwater. Biscayne National Park, the 45th park, was established on June 28, 1980. 95% of this park is water, protecting a rare combination of 4 distinct ecosystems. A fringe of mangrove forest on the shore, the clear shallow waters of Biscayne Bay, the emergent coral limestone keys, and the world's 3rd largest offshore coral reef. This park is a nursery and a sanctuary. The mangroves provide a crucial habitat for juvenile fish and wading birds. The seagrass beds of the bay are feeding grounds for the gentle manatee and the green sea turtle. And the offshore reef, a fragile and vibrant city of coral, shelters a dazzling array of tropical fish. It is a park that tells the story of the interconnectedness of land and sea, and highlights the urgent need to protect these delicate coastal and marine environments. We now journey to the wild volcanic landscapes of Alaska, a state that would dramatically expand the national park system. Katmai National Park and Preserve, our 46th park, was designated on December 2, 1980. It was originally protected to preserve the Valley of 10,000 Smokes, a vast area of ash flow from the monumental 1912 eruption of Nova Rupta, one of the most powerful volcanic events of the 20th century. While the smokes, or fumaroles, have since cooled, the volcanic landscape remains stark and awe-inspiring. But today, Katmai is perhaps even more famous for another natural spectacle, its incredible population of brown bears. Each summer, as the sockeye salmon run up the Brooks River, dozens of these massive animals congregate at Brooks Falls to feast on the fish. It is one of the greatest wildlife viewing opportunities on the planet, a raw and powerful display of the circle of life in the Alaskan wilderness. Still in Alaska, we move to the Panhandle, to a place of dramatic, dynamic change. Glacier Bay National Park and Preserve, the 47th park, was also established on December 2, 1980. This is a park that is a living laboratory of glacial activity. Just over 250 years ago, the entire bay was filled with a single, massive tidewater glacier. Today, that ice has retreated over 65 miles, revealing a stunning fjordland of inlets, coves, and islands. To visit Glacier Bay is to witness geology in action. Tidewater glaciers, like the Marjorie and Johns Hopkins glaciers, actively calve, dropping enormous chunks of ice into the sea with a thunderous roar. This nutrient-rich water supports a vibrant marine ecosystem. Humpback whales return here each summer to feed, their breath echoing across the bay. Sea otters float on their backs, and puffins nest on the rocky cliffs. It is a landscape reborn from ice, a powerful story of succession and renewal. Our 48th park takes us to the far north of Alaska, entirely above the Arctic Circle. Gates of the Arctic National Park and Preserve, designated on December 2, 1980, is the ultimate wilderness park. There are no roads, no trails, no established campsites. It is a vast, untouched landscape of rugged mountains, wild rivers, and sweeping tundra, a place that remains much as it has for thousands of years. The park gets its name from two peaks, Frigid Crags and Boreal Mountain, which form a gate through which the Kobuk River flows. This is the ancestral homeland of the Nunavut and Athabascan peoples, who have lived a subsistence lifestyle here for millennia. The park protects the habitat of the western Arctic caribou herd, one of the largest in North America, whose migrations are a fundamental rhythm of this land. It is a place that demands self-reliance and respect from the few humans who venture here. It is a profound statement of preservation, a commitment to leaving a piece of the planet truly, uncompromisingly wild. On the Kenai Peninsula of south-central Alaska, ice and ocean meet in spectacular fashion. Kenai Fjords National Park, our 49th park, also established on December 2, 1980, is a testament to the power of ice. The park is crowned by the Harding Ice Field, one of the largest ice fields in the United States. From this vast expanse of accumulated snow and ice, nearly 40 glaciers flow downwards, carving deep, dramatic fjords as they meet the sea. This is a place of incredible dynamism. The tidewater glaciers calve icebergs into the turquoise waters, providing a constant source of nutrients for the marine life that thrives here. The fjords are home to sea lions, harbor seals, and sea otters, while orcas and humpback whales patrol the waters. On the rugged coastline, puffins and other seabirds nest by the thousands. Kenai Fjords is a window into the Ice Age, a landscape that is constantly being shaped and reshaped by the colossal power of glaciers. We return to the Arctic, to a place of unexpected wonders. Kobuk Valley National Park, the 50th park, was another part of the landmark Alaska conservation effort of December 2, 1980. Located entirely north of the Arctic Circle, this remote park protects a fascinating and unique landscape. The Kobuk River, a broad and slow-moving waterway, snakes through the park, a vital corridor for both wildlife and the Inupiat people who have lived here for centuries. The park is most famous for two remarkable features. First, the semi-annual migration of the western Arctic caribou herd, 500,000 strong, who cross the Kobuk River on their journey between summer and winter grounds. And second, the Great Kobuk Sand Dunes. Here, in the middle of the Arctic, are 25 square miles of active sand dunes, some rising 100 feet high, a surreal and beautiful sight. It is a place of surprising contrasts, where Arctic tundra meets a Sahara-like desert, all under the light of the midnight sun. Our 51st park, also established on December 2, 1980, is a quintessential Alaskan wilderness. Lake Clark National Park and Preserve, located in south-central Alaska, is a stunning mosaic of ecosystems. Within its boundaries are jagged mountains, active volcanoes, shimmering turquoise lakes, wild rivers, and a rugged coastline. It is so diverse that it is often called the essence of Alaska, containing features from all of the state's other parks. Like so many of its Alaskan siblings, the park is without roads and can only be reached by small aircraft or boat. This remoteness has preserved its wild character. The park is home to two active volcanoes, Mount Redoubt and Mount Iliamna, which occasionally dust the landscape with ash. It is also a critical habitat for sockeye salmon, which return in the millions to spawn in the lakes and rivers, providing a vital food source for the region's healthy population of brown bears. It is a complete and vibrant ecosystem, protected in its entirety. We now arrive at a park of almost unimaginable scale, Wrangell-St. Elias National Park and Preserve. Our 52nd park, designated on December 2, 1980, is the largest national park in the United States. At over 13 million acres, it is larger than Switzerland, a colossal wilderness of mountains and glaciers. It is a place where 4 major mountain ranges converge, containing 9 of the 16 highest peaks in the country, including the 18,008-foot Mount St. Elias. The park contains the largest concentration of glaciers in North America. The Bagley Icefield alone is one of the largest subpolar ice fields in the world. Glaciers like the Malaspina are larger than the state of Rhode Island. Yet this is not just a land of ice. It is a place of wild rivers, vast tundra, and boreal forests. It also preserves the historic copper mining buildings of Kennecott, a stark reminder of the human ambition that once sought to tame this immense landscape. It is quite simply a mountain kingdom. From the immensity of Alaska, we travel to the high desert of eastern Nevada. Great Basin National Park, the 53rd park, was established on October 27, 1986. The park protects the South Snake Range, a classic sky island rising dramatically from the surrounding desert floor. It is a park of incredible vertical diversity, from the sagebrush flats at its base to the 13,063-foot summit of Wheeler Peak, which holds a small remnant glacier. The park is famous for two very different, yet equally profound features. In the darkness below the mountains lie the Lehman Caves, a beautiful marble cavern decorated with a stunning array of stalactites, stalagmites, and other rare formations. And high on the windswept slopes of Wheeler Peak live the oldest living things on Earth, the bristlecone pines. These gnarled, resilient trees have survived for nearly 5,000 years, silent witnesses to the entirety of recorded human history. Our journey now takes us far into the South Pacific, to the only U.S. national park south of the equator. The National Park of American Samoa, our 54th park, was established on October 31, 1988. It is unique in many ways. It is a partnership with local villages, and the land is not owned by the federal government, but is leased from Samoan chiefs, preserving the traditional Fa'a Samoa, or Samoan way of life. The park is spread across 3 volcanic islands, Tutuila, Ofu, and Ta'u. It protects lush tropical rainforests that cling to steep volcanic slopes, secluded beaches, and some of the most pristine coral reefs in the national park system. It is a sanctuary for the giant fruit bat, or flying fox, which can be seen soaring on 3-foot wingspans. The park's mission is twofold: to preserve the stunning natural resources of the islands, and to protect and celebrate the 3,000-year-old Samoan culture that is inextricably linked to them. 70 miles west of Key West, Florida, in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico, lies a remote cluster of small coral islands. This is Dry Tortugas National Park, the 55th park, designated on October 26, 1992. Like Biscayne, it is primarily a marine park, with less than 1% of its area being dry land. The park is renowned for its crystal-clear waters, vibrant coral reefs, and abundant sea life, including nesting sea turtles, for which the islands were named. The centerpiece of the park is the colossal and seemingly impossible Fort Jefferson. This massive 19th-century coastal fortress, the largest brick masonry structure in the Americas, was never fully completed and never saw battle. Today, its weathered walls provide a nesting ground for thousands of sooty terns and other seabirds. The park is a remarkable juxtaposition of military history, pirate legends, and a thriving, fragile marine ecosystem, a remote outpost of nature and human ambition. We return to the desert, to the sun-drenched landscape surrounding Tucson, Arizona. Saguaro National Park, our 56th park, was established on October 14, 1994. The park is divided into two districts, one on either side of the city, and it was created to protect its namesake, the magnificent saguaro cactus. These iconic giants of the Sonoran Desert, with their familiar arms reaching for the sky, are a symbol of the American Southwest. But the park is far more than just a cactus garden. It is a complete and surprisingly lush desert ecosystem. The saguaros provide food and shelter for a wide variety of creatures, from Gila woodpeckers that carve nests in their trunks, to bats that pollinate their beautiful, night-blooming flowers. The park ranges from low desert scrub to high-elevation pine and oak forests in the Rincon Mountains, showcasing the incredible biodiversity that the Sonoran Desert supports. It is a celebration of a plant and the rich world it sustains. In the Mojave Desert of California and Nevada lies a land of superlatives. Death Valley National Park, the 57th park, was designated on October 31, 1994. It is the hottest, driest, and lowest place in North America. Temperatures here have reached a world record 134 degrees Fahrenheit, and Badwater Basin sits at 282 feet below sea level. It is a place of stark, often brutal beauty and surprising resilience. Despite its forbidding name, Death Valley is teeming with life that has adapted to the extreme conditions. From the shifting sands of the Mesquite Flat Dunes to the colorful, mineral-stained hills of Artist's Palette, the park is a geological masterpiece. In rare years of significant rainfall, the valley floor can be transformed by a super bloom of wildflowers, a breathtaking and ephemeral display of life's tenacity. It is a park that challenges our perceptions of what it means for a landscape to be alive. At the intersection of two distinct deserts, the Mojave and the Colorado, lies a landscape of surreal beauty. Joshua Tree National Park, our 58th park, was also established on October 31, 1994. It's named for the strange and wonderful Joshua tree, a species of yucca whose tangled, spiky branches reminded early Mormon settlers of the biblical prophet Joshua raising his arms in prayer. The park is a playground of fascinating geology. Massive rounded monoliths of Monza granite create a bizarre and beautiful rock-jumbled landscape, making it a world-renowned destination for rock climbers. The western half of the park, in the higher and cooler Mojave Desert, is dominated by the Joshua Tree woodlands, while the eastern half, in the lower and hotter Colorado Desert, features different plants like ocotillo and cholla cactus. At night, the park's dark skies reveal a breathtaking canopy of stars, a celestial wonder to match the earthly one. In western Colorado, the Gunnison River has spent 2 million years carving one of the steepest, narrowest, and most dramatic canyons in North America. This is Black Canyon of the Gunnison National Park, the 59th park. established on October 21, 1999. The name comes from the fact that some parts of the canyon are so deep and narrow that they receive only a few minutes of direct sunlight each day, shrouding the depths in shadow. The canyon walls are made of some of the oldest exposed rock on the continent, dark, Precambrian gneiss and schist, shot through with veins of lighter-colored pegmatite. The river drops at an astonishing rate, an average of 95 feet per mile within the park, creating a formidable and wild waterway. The views from the rim are dizzying and vertigo-inducing, looking down nearly 2,000 feet to the silver thread of the river below. It is a visceral and powerful testament to the relentless, erosive power of water. Our 60th park is an unexpected oasis of nature nestled between the urban centers of Cleveland and Akron, Ohio. Cuyahoga Valley National Park was designated on October 11, 2000. It is a different kind of park, one that preserves a rural landscape and tells a story of natural recovery. The park follows the path of the Cuyahoga River, a river once so polluted that it famously caught fire, but which has since become a symbol of environmental restoration. The park is a green refuge, with rolling hills, dense forests, and winding wetlands. It preserves the historic route of the Ohio and Erie Canal, and a scenic railroad still carries visitors through the valley. Brandywine Falls, a beautiful 65-foot waterfall, is one of its most popular features. Cuyahoga Valley represents a newer model for national parks, one that is easily accessible to millions of people, and one that demonstrates nature's remarkable ability to heal, if given the chance. In central South Carolina, we find a forest of giants. Congaree National Park, our 61st park, was established on November 10, 2003. It protects the largest remaining tract of old-growth bottomland hardwood forest left in the United States. This is not a forest of tall, needle-leaf trees, but of colossal deciduous trees, some of the tallest on the East Coast, creating what is often called a forest cathedral. This is a floodplain forest, periodically nourished by the waters of the Congaree and Wateree rivers. The result is a forest of astonishing productivity and biodiversity. Loblolly pines, bald cypress, and numerous species of oak and tupelo reach record sizes, their massive trunks creating a high, closed canopy. The forest floor is a world of its own, and in early summer, it is illuminated by the magical spectacle of synchronous fireflies, flashing in unison in the deep darkness. It is a remnant of the primeval forest that once covered the American Southeast. In the coastal mountains of central California, tectonic forces and volcanic activity have created a unique and dramatic landscape. Pinnacles National Park, the 62nd park, was designated on January 10, 2013. The park is the remnant of an ancient volcano, part of which has been sheared off and carried nearly 200 miles north by the San Andreas Fault. What remains is a landscape of towering rock spires, monoliths, and narrow canyons. The park is famous for two primary features. The first are the Talus Caves, formed when massive boulders fell into deep, narrow chasms, creating dark and fascinating passages to explore. The second is its role as a key release site for the California condor, one of the world's rarest birds. Seeing one of these magnificent birds, with their nearly 10-foot wingspan, soaring over the rock pinnacles, is an unforgettable experience and a triumph of conservation. It is a park born of geological violence and now a sanctuary for one of nature's most fragile giants. Our final journey, for now, takes us to the ancient mountains of West Virginia. New River Gorge National Park and Preserve, the 63rd and newest national park, was established on December 27, 2020. The park protects a rugged, 53-mile stretch of the New River, which, despite its name, is one of the oldest rivers on the continent. It has spent millions of years carving a deep and beautiful gorge through the Appalachian Mountains. The park is a center for adventure and recreation, famous for its world-class whitewater rafting and rock climbing on the hard sandstone cliffs. But it is also a place of rich history and surprising biodiversity. It preserves old coal mining towns and tells the story of the industrialization of Appalachia. The iconic New River Gorge Bridge, a stunning feat of engineering, spans the gorge and has become a symbol of the park itself. It is a fitting conclusion to our journey, a park that celebrates natural beauty, human history, and the enduring spirit of adventure. From the sun-baked canyons of Big Bend to the ancient Appalachian Gorge of the New River, our journey has revealed the incredible diversification of the National Park Service in the modern era. We have traveled from the highest peaks in Alaska to the deepest coral reefs in the Pacific, witnessing a profound expansion of what we choose to protect. The system has grown from preserving monumental scenery to safeguarding entire, complex ecosystems, critical wildlife corridors, and even the very air and water upon which life depends. This is a story of growing wisdom, of recognizing the immense value in landscapes both grand and subtle. This collection of 63 national parks is more than just a list of destinations. It is a promise. It is a promise made by past generations to the future, a declaration that these pockets of wildness, these chronicles of geological time, and these sanctuaries for life are an essential part of the nation's soul. They are living libraries, open-air classrooms, and places of profound spiritual renewal. The continued growth of this system, even in our modern, fast-paced world, shows that the original idea born at Yellowstone is more vital now than ever before. I invite you to explore them, not just on a screen, but in person. Go and feel the spray from a glacial river, stand in the shadow of a 2,000-year-old tree, listen to the silence of the desert, and watch the stars appear in a truly dark sky. These parks are your inheritance. They belong to everyone. By visiting them, by learning their stories, and by appreciating their immense beauty, we become part of their preservation. We reaffirm the promise, ensuring that these extraordinary places will continue to inspire wonder and awe for all the generations yet to come.